Welcome back to the Relius Reviews. Today's review is focused on 2021 movie entitled The Matrix Resurrections. And the official synopsis of The Matrix Resurrections is: return to a world of two realities. One, everyday life. The other, what lies behind it. To find out if his reality is a construct, to truly know himself, Mr. Anderson will have to choose to follow the white rabbit once more. And before I give out my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. I would say the first things that I enjoyed about this movie were some of the old characters and as well as some of the newer characters. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss as Neo and Trinity, both of them gave out a pretty good performance when it came with this movie, as it was just like how they were in the first three movies, but this time in a modern society. Neo, or Thomas Anderson, is a very successful video game creator, as he has made the game The Matrix, and Trinity, or Tiffany, is a married wife with two kids just living everyday life. Both of them start to experience some pretty crazy flashbacks, which reminded them of their times in the Matrix, and they try to see whether or not is it real or just fictional. Some of the newer characters that I really did like in this movie were Jessica Henwick's as Bugs. Bugs, she was a pretty likable character when it came with this movie. Bugs is a part of the Matrix, and she tries to save Neo from the world that he has been accustomed to for many different years now. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as the new Morpheus, he gave out a good performance as well. But I felt like with him as Morpheus, I'm still mixed on that. Like, he could have been a newer character, but I get why they did it. He was a good character as well, as he was like Morpheus in the first three movies. He tries to help Neo see the real world for what it is and tries to help out everyone else when it comes with this movie. But those were my favorite characters when it came with this new Matrix movie. When it comes with the action and the cinematography, I felt like most of the action scenes, the action sequences, most of it was good, but then you did have quite a few action scenes which was just a little bit questionable. Like, it left me just saying just like, what the F, or this was just downright weird and crazy to say the least. And I felt like that when it came to the cinematography as well, as most of it was pretty good, like the directors knew what they were doing, but then other sequences, like other scenes in this movie just looked it downright weird, or just mind-boggling with how it looked and everything with the visual effects that was added to many different scenes of this movie. There was definitely a lot of nostalgic feeling with this movie, as this movie had many, and I do mean many, different flashbacks from the first three films, and just a lot of other things as well. I would say maybe the first things that I did not like about this movie will probably have to be some of the newer characters, and as well as just some of the older characters and how they looked. When it came to some of the newer characters, I felt like most of them were pretty forgettable, or their character was just a little bit confusing to me. I don't know why. Priyanka Jonas as Sadi, I felt like her character was a little bit forgettable, as she doesn't have that much of a role until the final act of the movie. And Jada Pinkett Smith as Niobe, her performance was alright, but her makeup effects and how she looked in this movie was just pretty horrible. Matter of fact, it was downright awful of how she looked. I know she was supposed to be older in this movie. The makeup effects was not that good at all, to say the least, and they could have done a better job when it came to that. Another thing that I did not like about this movie was some of the plot elements that were included. This movie, to me, definitely does take a lot of bold steps to help make this movie more different than the first three films was, which was not bad. But then there was some plot elements in this movie which was just they took too long getting to the point, or they was just too much time which is focused on certain plot elements. That's how I feel about it. And I would say the last things that I did not like about this movie was that I felt like there was just too much nostalgic effect when it came with this movie. Like, certain flashback scenes were definitely required to understand, but then the other flashback scenes and just like other nostalgic effects that this movie had was really not necessary, to say the least. And when it comes with how I feel about the Matrix movie, you will either like it or you're not going to like it. You'll just hate it. With this movie, I somewhat liked it. I felt like it was just all right. But I definitely do understand as in why many people dislike this new version, dislike this new movie. I get it. I totally understand. But how I would rate The Matrix Resurrections out of 5 stars, I would probably rate The Matrix Resurrections maybe 3 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.